WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux coming at you with this week's Monday Night Raw review for the week of July 9th, 2012. We started with a segment involving AJ, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. Now, well, the reason why I'm a little flustered at what I'm trying to say is because I'm still kind of flustered as to what I saw. She calls CM Punk out first. And apparently he turns her on. And she actually got down on one knee. And I knew right there from the bat, one or two things was going to happen. One, she was going to, the next line was going to be, turn your head and cough. Or, will you marry me? And AJ went with the marry me, because I don't think you can do a live examination of someone's prostate on live TV. But, next thing you know, Daniel Bryan comes out running no, and then proposes to AJ himself. And then next thing you know, we hear that familiar tone, the anonymous Raw general manager is back. And so apparently he's the one who's going to be in charge of Monday Night Raw this week. And he sets up an unusual mixed tag match. It's AJ and CM Punk taking on Daniel Bryan and Eve. Eve is somebody we haven't seen in the ring in quite some time. So, of course, Daniel Bryan protests, but to avail. Weird segment, weird way to open up Monday Night Raw. But it just goes to show you what I've been saying all along about AJ, about her progression as a character in the WWE, about the way that she has been effectively used in this storyline between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And they're using her and utilizing her to her utmost abilities, and they're taking every advantage to intertwine her into this storyline and make it really, really interesting, because without a doubt, you know, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk is a match that could sell itself, but now that they've had a lot of build into it, and with this storyline involving AJ, there is a lot of intrigue, there's a lot of interest into it. So, opening segment, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Opening match, if I can call it that, Sheamus and Jack Swagger. I have seen WWE Diva matches last longer than this one, but keep in mind that on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, as soon as the show is over, they're set to tape Friday Night SmackDown. So apparently, yeah, they can't use most of their talent. You know, they got to save them for Friday Night SmackDown, and of course Sheamus being the champion of Friday Night SmackDown, and of course Jack Swagger, who's on there as well a lot. They can't really use him very well, so the only thing they could do is just have him do like a short 90-second, I guess, jobber match. Swagger gets hit with the white noise and the bro kick, and Sheamus wins. And then what we see next is we see Alberto Del Rio come out and cut a promo for their matchup at Money in the Bank this weekend that only angers Sheamus and bro kicks Jack Swagger in the face again. Not a fan of big squash matches, to be honest with you guys. 3 out of 5. Then next up we had a tag team match. Tensai and Dolph Ziggler versus Christian and Tyson Kidd. Interesting match. The finish came when Christian was going for the spear on Tensai. Sakimoto distracts the referee. Dolph Ziggler grabs the leg. Tensai avalanches him in the corner. Engulfs him. The whole turnbuckle splash. and then gives him the senton and gets the win. But however, the brutality was not over as he assaulted Tyson Kidd on the outside, power bombed him on the ring apron, and gave him the senton on the floor. They're just taking this Tensai gimmick and just making him absolutely vicious. Maybe this is the direction that they need to go with the Tensai gimmick. Maybe this is what they need to do. A-Train, the A-Train gimmick and the Prince Albert gimmick, they were vicious in their own rights, but the level of viciousness there and brutality they're taking with Tensai, maybe this is the step they need to go. Maybe this is the direction they need to go with Tensai to make it a gimmick that gets over on the WWE audience. I'm just speculating on it. But bottom line, Tensai, Dolph Ziggler get the win over Christian Tyson Kidd. My score, just for the new level of violence we got to see out of Tensai, not only towards Christian, but Tyson Kidd, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, and I hope we see more like this out of Tensai, because, we just can't have him as Prince Albert version 2. We can't. It's not going to work. So maybe this new level of violence is what's necessary for the Tensai gimmick to get over. Only time can tell, to be honest with you guys. Only time can tell. Next up, Brodus Clay and Drew McIntyre. Okay. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself about WWE's total misuse of talent when it comes to Drew McIntyre. And I've already made a video about it. I believe about several months ago, earlier this year. I made a video about Drew McIntyre and how WWE is just not utilizing him properly. And this goes to show you the level of the misuse. I mean, we gotta have some squash matches to, I guess, save up the talent for the Friday Night SmackDown taping. But come on, you're on the flagship show of the WWE, Monday Night Raw. But Brodus Clay basically squashes, in every sense of the word, Drew McIntyre in this match. 3 out of 5. Just because I got to see Brodus Clay's dancers. That's only that gets a 3 out of 5. Just because I got to see Brodus' dancers. And next up, we have Santino Marella has been going on a quest on this edition of Monday Night Raw to find out the identity of the anonymous Raw General Manager, because WWE, for the longest time, in 2011, we had the anonymous Raw General Manager gimmick, and WWE never really came to a conclusion as to just who was the anonymous Raw General Manager. We never had, a sense of closure anywhere, because I know there are a lot of fans out there who were going, just who was the anonymous Raw General Manager? Who was the person that was supposed to fill that spot? Well, since the reemergence of the anonymous Raw General Manager for this week, Santino Marella has kind of made it, his claim that he was going to find out just who it is, and of course he interrogated Jericho for it, and let's just say that was a hilarious back and forth. And of course, one of the featured matches this week, it was Cena and Kane taking on Big Show and Chris Jericho. I want to say this right now: if they would allow Big Show and Jericho to come out to the old Jericho entrance music, man, that would have been so incredibly good. That would have made a lot of wrestling fans happy. It would have made me happy, because Jericho was a great gimmick. I don't care what anybody else says. Jericho was a good team and a great gimmick, and WWE just let that one slip through the cracks. They had the opportunity for a great gimmick tag team, and it fell through. Basically, it fell through. But apparently this was a big build-up for the WWE Championship Money in the Bank ladder match, which only will have 4 people. By the end of this review, you will now come to find that the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank ladder match will have 8 people. 8 people. I think I've already ranted on a previous review my feelings on the differences in the WWE Money in the Bank ladder match and the World Heavyweight Title Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think I need to repeat myself. So, the matchup ends up getting thrown out. Then we see Big Show taking out a couple of ladders and attempting to squash Chris Jericho in between them. And next thing you know, Cena comes out, and he has his own ladder, and he knocks Big Show out of the ring and clears the ring. And the only one that's left there is John Cena. So will John Cena win Money in the Bank this weekend? Who knows? Who knows? As far as this match goes, I thought it was really decent. You got 4 really top main eventers in your company in one match. Not only Money in the Bank, but in this tag match. You always get a decent match out of them. You always get a decent match out of them. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Then next up, we have the next Money in the Bank qualifier match. And it's Sin Cara versus Heath Slater. Now, keep in mind, this is for the World Heavyweight title one. And there was only one botch in there. But you know what? I don't think I'm going to call it on Sin Cara. I'm going to call it on Heath Slater. It was the first neck breaker in the match. And I think Heath Slater had messed it up. So I'm calling that on Heath Slater. I'm not going to call it on Sin Cara. Rest of the matchup was great. It was a great chemistry, great in-ring work, a lot of good stuff out of Heath Slater and Sin Cara. I'm going to go, I would go 4 out of 5, but, since, just that one botch, I have to deduct half a point. I have to go down half a point. And it's 3.5 out of 5. But you know what? It's going to regain that half a point if they hadn't done what was next. And Heath Slater gets on the microphone, says he demands to have any former WWE champion come out so he can prove himself that he belongs in the Money in the Bank. And boy, do we get a former WWE champion. How about Mr. Backlund? Yes, a guy who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but apparently he's turned it down because from what I've been told from the Studley Man Ashley is the reports are that Bob Backlund wants at least one more run in the WWE. And I'll tell you what, after what I've seen from him tonight on Monday Night Raw, he's in good enough shape, and it looks like he can still take some bumps in the ring. He looks in really good shape for his age. He can still do the Bob Backlund duck walk. Screw you, Chris Rogers. That's an inside joke. That's all I'm going to tell you. But he can still do it, man. And I believe, properly utilized, he can have a very successful last run in the wrestling industry. It doesn't matter where. WWE will probably be the best bet for him because that's where he's most well known for. But yeah, Bob Backlund, I believe, personally, that he should have at least one more run in the WWE before he hangs it up and goes into the Hall of Fame. And I believe he proved to everybody tonight, not just to me, but I believe he proved it to everybody tonight that he can still go. He can still go. So I really would like to see that. A matchup that was made earlier tonight by the Anonymous Raw General Manager, or the option to make it, was Michael Cole versus Jerry the King Lawler, or WrestleMania rematch and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, if I had the opportunity to answer. By the way, I did not answer on WWE.com. I'm like, guys, you're probably thinking, why didn't you answer? Well, here's the reason why. Because I would say yes and no. And here are the reasons why. Yes, any chance you get to see Michael Cole being humiliated in any kind of capacity, whether it be in the ring where he's getting beat up or where he's getting physically humiliated and whatnot, yeah, I'm all for that. But the reason I would say no, there are a couple of reasons. One, do you guys not remember the gay orange singlet that Michael Cole wore at WrestleMania last year? Do we really? Do we really, honestly, do we have to see it again? I would lose my lunch if I had to see that again. And secondly, Michael Cole, like yours truly, is a commentator. Commentators do not, I repeat, do not belong in the ring in a wrestling match. You'll never see me wrestle. That's a fact. I am not a wrestler. Neither is Michael Cole. We're a commentator. We're commentators. We belong at the announce table calling the matches, not being in the matches. I totally disagree. Well, I can see, the pros of having a Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler match on Monday Night Raw, but do the pros outweigh the cons? That's the thing you have to ask yourself. Do the pros outweigh the cons for this to happen? And, well, yeah, I'll believe. Now, what they really use this for is after the match was over, Santino Marella comes out and he has deduced who is the anonymous Raw General Manager and where he could be. And apparently, the anonymous Raw General Manager was hiding under the ring. He responds. Josh Matthews is reading the laptop, by the way. And by the way, we could clearly see the paper, and two, we could clearly see the laptop's screensaver was on. Give me a break, WWE. But now that this has happened, well, let me go and say this. It's been revealed that Hornswoggle is the anonymous Raw General Manager. You want to talk about... Well, it was a comedic way to end the whole thing with Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and the anonymous Raw General Manager. Yeah, it was funny. I'll give them that. It was funny, but, WWE really just doesn't have anything for Hornswoggle to do except doing all kinds of comedic stuff. I mean, when's the last time we've honestly seen Hornswoggle being properly utilized? Well, can he be properly utilized? That's the real question. But when's the last time we actually seen him used properly on a Monday Night Raw? I can't recall. I can't. So I'm going to go... I'm going to give it an average score. Because we saw a conclusion to possibly the Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler feud. Who knows? But we also saw the end of how the WWE is finally going to kill off the anonymous Raw General Manager gimmick by having it be Hornswoggle. Yeah. Now we come to the main event of sorts. CM Punk and AJ taking on Daniel Bryan and Eve Torres. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, usual great start to the match. AJ tags herself in. And AJ and Eve Torres going it. By the way, thank you, cameraman, for so many shots of the asses of AJ and Eve. Great camera work. Can you guys tell I'm that lonely? Anyway. The finish came when Eve reached out for a tag from Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan jumped down and refused. And AJ rolls her up and gets the pin. Then we get a promo after the match is over between Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and AJ, where Daniel Bryan was looking forward to going marry AJ after the show was over. CM Punk said that he was just using her for the match, and he said, he didn't care if what he was going to say was going to hurt him or cost him his WWE Championship. At least he cares enough for AJ to tell her the truth that he was not going to marry her. AJ starts tearing up, then slaps CM Punk solid in the face. Daniel Bryan says, "Yes, come home, AJ, come home," with open arms. And then AJ slaps Daniel Bryan. And the tears, I would like to call crocodile tears, were shut off immediately, and AJ starts smiling again, doing the yes chant. Holy crap. I can't wait to see what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. Overall score for Monday Night Raw this week, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Very decent episode of Monday Night Raw. Great to see the legendary Bob Backlund back. And I do believe that he does have at least one more run in him. Sin Cara qualifying. Last time we saw Sin Cara in a ladder match, we didn't see him for at least 4 or 5 months. Because if I remember correctly, it was Sheamus who power bombed Sin Cara through a ladder at a previous Money in the Bank. But a ladder match style such as the Money in the Bank could give Sin Cara the opportunity to really showcase a lot of good high-flying aerial stuff. Good to see Jericho back again, even though they didn't really use the Jericho music. I would have really have liked to have seen that. Love the new level of violence from Tensai. I gotta say it. You know, and this is possibly what they need for the Tensai gimmick to get over. I hope the Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler thing is done, because I don't want to see Michael Cole back in the ring again. Hornswoggle, the Anonymous Road General Manager, you can guys kind of tell they killed that gimmick tonight. But it was a great match. The CM Punk, AJ, Daniel Bryan saga continues on, and I can't wait to see how they cultivate it at Money in the Bank. So what I want to know now from you guys, the viewers and subscribers, what are your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week? Do you agree with my rating of a 4 out of 5 for the show? Or do you disagree? And if so, please give me a short review in the comment section. I look forward to hearing what's your take on Monday Night Raw this week. And don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe to both youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZepXFame. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.